All right, we are here in Houston, Texas, the Heights specifically, and awesome Tito with his big old smile. And today I wanted to take you guys on a quick journey trip neighborhood tour of Houston Heights. And right now we're in, they say, Lower Heights, which is the White Oak Park. And so I just wanted to show you guys 3 reasons why you shouldn't move here and 3 reasons why you should. So you know the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the awkward, the quirky things. So we are here again at White Oak Park, where you have the baseball fields there, and the kids are about to play. I think the season starts. It is spring season. So we are going to start in this area. So you ready, Tito? Yeah, he's ready. He wants some treats. All right, we're gonna go, Tito. Let's do it. One of the things here about the Heights, it's getting super busy, and they shut down one of the entrances from I-10 area because we are getting so packed with people. There's so much traffic going on. So you gotta hustle your way into the roads like it just did, because the swerve and merge is real. You gotta learn how to swerve and merge. And I'll go into more into detail about that soon. So if you want brand new homes and flawless new construction, this may not be the best area. There's a lot of homes out here that are historic, some late 1800s, some early 1900s. Right now we're at 6.5 Street, and this is the east part of the Heights that we're going on here. And let's just turn on the street. This is 7th Street, so you can kind of get a feel of the type of homes that you may be running into if you come inside the area. So, and one of the things, look at that nice little eclectic house on the right side there. Yeah, that kind of house. And as you can probably see or hear the bumps, Houston doesn't have the best streets in the world. We probably have the worst streets in the world. Probably close to New York. I don't know how their streets are. I heard they're busted up, just as bad as Houston. But when you move inside Houston, inside the loop is what we call it, sometimes inside the Beltway. So there's another house right there that's on the corner it was demolished. It was a Craftsman bungalow, and that one, they're building a brand new house. So to the left, you see brand new homes. This is probably about now 5-6 years ago. And if you look to the left, you probably would have saw another bungalow type home. So some of the types of homes, I would say 3 to 4, and the 4th one being new construction. The first one though are the Craftsman bungalow type homes. And those are the homes that are fairly strong. I mean, they don't build them like they used to anymore. I mean, you're talking real wood, real brick. I mean, all the materials there are just made to last. And now we're going a little bit south, kind of close to the White Oak Bayou area, and this is a small little pocket. It's close to Woodland Heights, okay? And a lot of homes, I mean, you have 2 homes right there side by side that are for sale. And I mean, some homes have been renovated. You have another home that's just been renovated on the right side. And the city's pretty strict on permitting, on making sure, you have your correct documents in order and all that. So let's see here. We're just gonna go. We gotta swerve and merge, guys. So so we're close to Woodland Heights district. So the Heights district has multiple types of of districts. You have the Woodland Heights, which we're in now, or close to it. I think we're close to the boundary. No, we're outside of Woodland Heights. Those houses on the left side and not the right, but they look brand new. So in the historic districts, they usually don't allow those type of homes. They only allow like craftsman bungalow or the Victorian style. And I was talking about the types of homes that were made back when this neighborhood was established. So we're talking about the craftsman bungalow, which is on the left side. And then you have the Queen Anne Victorian style, which are the beautiful, you have the 2 to 3 pointer type homes out there that are, I've sold one in Galveston. I've sold a couple. They're pretty awesome. But see on the left side there, that just tells me we're not in a historic district, because they are pretty strict about the types of homes. Usually you want to, keep the character of the neighborhood. So if one was going to go in there and knock down or renovate a home, how it would usually have to look like a craftsman bungalow or a Queen Anne Victorian style, or get it approved for the build out. So, but yeah, we're close to Woodland Heights. Well, I would just say we are in Woodland Heights, but again, we're on the border of it all. So we could be just a little bit of outside because of those new homes out there. And this little section here connects to the park, and you have these little apartment communities on the right side, and these small little streets, and that one corner looks like a grocery store. That's historic. I think it's been around since the early 1900s, the one with the red brick. And yeah, these small little quiet streets are pretty neat to have, not too much traffic. So this street, and let's go on this little side street here, Lawrence. See, these small little alleyway streets are pretty neat because not too much traffic. Of course, no real cars coming here except for the residences here. So yeah, some of these streets sell for higher because of the street location. Because of the location, it's quiet. There's not much through traffic. So ahead, you have some, I would say double gallery type homes, but they're like updated, like the French Quarter looking homes here. You gotta be careful because these streets are very narrow. And a lot of times see, parking on the off-street parking, and you have one car driveway. That's it. On the left side, you have a not new construction, but not the type of home you usually see in the Heights. So that tells me we're not in the Woodland Heights district, because you usually have to make it look like a craftsman bungalow, again, like the character of the Heights. Yeah, one of the famous streets is Teats Horn, and we're currently on, I say Beecham, but let me know in the comments how you say that. Beechamp. It's Beau, B-E-A-U, and Champ, but all one word. You have a nice church right here. So as you can tell, the streets are a lot wider, and we're now seeing more of the bungalow style homes. So this tells me we're in Woodland Heights district now. We're deep inside of it, because you're not seeing a lot of the new construction style homes. And if you are, it's usually a renovated bungalow, and we should have turned on that street, but it's okay. And usually, it's a done up, or it's a new construction that looks like a craftsman bungalow, like a replica. You have that corner store on the left side. So now we're on Balin Street, which is another historic street. We are deep inside of the Woodland Heights here. These homes, again, the white oak trees you have, and the walkability here, it's just a peaceful, quiet street. So to the right is a nice French Quarter looking home with the wraparound porch. And we're about to come on some family full of cyclists, which is always great to see the families spending the Sunday together. This is a Sunday. And I always like to just drive slow on the street, just take it all in, enjoy the shade and just the neighborhood. And they have a lot of these speed bumps because, of course, we're in Houston. We probably have the worst drivers, if not top 3 drivers in the nation. And unfortunately, when you have a straightaway like this, they hit those type of roads at like 40 plus. And it's never good when you have families and people riding their bikes, walking, running all along the street here. But yeah, as you can tell, a lot of these homes, again, are the bungalow style, mostly bungalow, double gallery, French Quarter, and Queen and Victorian. And so the street is a historic type street. So you have to abide by the historic guidelines of how you want to, even down to the windows, to the front street facing windows there, that you have to get everything passed by the city and then the historic district. And they don't play around. They don't care if you spent X amount of thousands of dollars. Oh, there's a new construction, looks like again, it's gonna be the type of home, the character of the Heights, which is everything I talked about, you know, the French Quarter, the bungalow. Sometimes they mix the two, that they almost look like the 2-in-1, bungalow, craftsman bungalow, and then the French Quarter. And then you have ranch style. You have homes that it's neither. It's like, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. There's a bunch of homes like that. It's like the builders back in the early 1900s I guess got tired of making craftsman bungalow. So they just made a random looking house that doesn't even look like a bungalow. It's just like a ranch style. And another cool thing about the Heights is boulevards. We got boulevards, you'll see in a minute. To the left, you have all these land here, the strip of land that run north and south of the Heights. So you can come walk your dog. This one's nice. It has like hookups, like outlets. So if you want to have a birthday party. So yeah, see these houses in front. I'm sure they had to pass some type of historic guidelines that will make it kind of look like a craftsman bungalow. So let's go down this one street. Let's hit up this one. We're now going south. Tito's just hanging out. So we're going a little bit more south now towards the White Oak Park. We're not gonna go all the way down, but just to at least show the landscape of the area here. Let's turn on 7th Street. I think the last one we turned on 7th and a half. So it starts at, well, it really starts at Usner, Usener, Usner, and then White Oak, and then 6th Street, and then 7th. We have 7 and a halves and all that. So a lot of history though. I mean, a lot of these street names are family heirlooms, last names. So now we're on Studwood Street. So we're gonna go north. We're going north right now. Maybe Tito wants to. He likes to stick his head out. So Studwood Street, we have a lot of good local shops. That's where we're known for. We don't really have any chains of restaurants. We have one Starbucks, but most of it is our local coffee shops, sandwich shops, ice cream places and all that. And then you have dentists, all types of services, eye doctors to orthopedists, title, closing attorneys and all that. You have a nice little place called Red Dessert Dive, which is one of my favorite. They got the best desserts there. That and Nitro Coffee. So we're crossing 11th Street, which they got a boot shop right down the street. They had a pizza shop. They got burgers. You got Maddie's right there, sushi and Mexican restaurant. Monstrados is right there. And then on the left side, we have, I think they turned that into a salon. We have attorney services to the left. So a lot of these places are very down to earth local businesses, you know, people who live inside, you know, live in the neighborhood or close to it. Shiloh Club, I think that's a historic club, it has to be. All right, now we're gonna make a left on 14th Street, which is another midpoint. It's kind of the middle part of the Heights. You have a church on the corner, and then you have a senior living facility to your right. And currently, this is not we're not in a historic district. We just left Woodland Heights. So let's maybe turn on Beverly Street. So you're gonna see a mix of that Craftsman bungalow to the straight on the corner, another one to the right, Craftsman bungalows. Now we're close by Heights High School. Heights High School. Maybe we'll go a little bit straight. Yeah, we'll go to the school. Again, notice the quietness of the streets here and how quiet these streets are. So yeah, so if you're looking for new construction, like flawless, perfect, probably is not gonna be the place for you. Because a lot of these homes are been renovated, which I love the character of it. It just gives you that like historic, small town feel, neighborhood feel. So to the right is Heights High School, and during the week, and this is a Sunday, this place would be lined up with buses and schools and just kids. So you gotta drive really, really slow. Yeah, the Heights High School is right on the right side. Good day. All right, where do we want to go next? We're on 13th and Arlington. So we're like more in the central part of the Heights, and we're gonna see more of the historic type looking homes. I'm just scanning left to right just because, you know, you get some kids out here and it's, you know, they love to play with their baseballs, and I just, you know, want to watch out for the children and of course the pets and the families. So, but Arlington is another, I wouldn't say famous, but like good historic street where everyone likes. So we're more in the central part of the neighborhood. And we're going towards Yale Street. Again, if you guys notice the walkability here, I mean, you have a lot of shade, the sidewalks. Let's turn on this street. I think you guys may like this one. So we talked about the reasons why you shouldn't move here. We talked about if you're looking for pristine new construction with no issues, this is probably not the area. However, it has a lot of good walking spots. We were on Studwood Street. Lots of good, you know, local coffee shops to the diners, to the eateries and everything like that. People, you know, would take their families and friends, and, you know, single persons and all types of people would love to. I mean, the coffee shops here are great. I mean, I think one coffee shop a year pops up, which is great. I'm not complaining. And so that's definitely a good addition to the neighborhood. Brought the window up. All right, so we're gonna make a right on Heights Boulevard, which is the main drag of the Heights that goes north and south. And if you notice the trees overlapping the road, which gives it that, I don't know, like that depth of neighborhood. So we're now more in the central part of the Heights. We're going north, we're about to pass 14th Street. So, you know, to the left of the camera, again, the boulevards, the esplanades, if you want to call it esplanades, that you can walk up and down. In the middle that has like a nice trail. You take your dog out there. I see, and then there's like these cool gazebos where I've seen people take photos, you know, whether it's a birthday, anniversary, wedding photos and all that. So I think that's pretty neat to have as far as a nice photo background, because again, like the homes is, you always hear the word charming, but I believe the Heights is, maybe I should just pick another word that's not charming, because you see that everywhere. So yeah, so some of these homes to the left here are built out businesses, bungalow looking homes. So that's something that it's pretty neat, keeps the character so it doesn't feel like corporate style. And they like to, we'll probably pass by it, but they like to install art in the esplanades or the boulevards. They'll have a cool, I think the last one I saw was like a rainforest themed one. And they'll put like lights on and everything. So you have a church on the left, Episcopalian church. You have a restaurant to the right, and CVS over there, and so there's a CVS and a Walgreens across the street from each other. So you got options. Definitely have options. You have a bank, the PNC Bank. You have a dermatology office. So a lot of good medical. If you need medical, if you're PCP. There's a veterinary care. So now this is another drag of the Heights, where now you have mainly local businesses. You have a vet care, Boomtown Coffee, which is an amazing coffee shop for studying or, meetings or just hanging out. Another small business on the right side looks like it's a vinyl record. So pretty much people love, it's a Sunday, it's beautiful. It's sunny, and you're just enjoying the day. And so it looks like there was an ice cream shop on this corner here. Now it's called Sugared and Bronze. I think it's another dessert, but it was an ice cream parlor, which is freaking good. To the right, looks like it's an art shop. Yeah, they're offering art classes. And then there's a salon, a Beta salon. So again, you don't really need to leave the loop, guys. Be a true interlooper. You have everything. Support local businesses. So if you can see to the right and left, a lot of off-street parking. So the second reason why this area may not be the best is parking. Parking is off-street. We went through some streets that were really tight and narrow. If you're sketched out about parking in those type of areas, this isn't the place for you, unfortunately. And it could frustrate you. So you have the Heights Theater. I think it's historic theater, which is great to see around still since after COVID. You have antique shops, lots of antiquing. You have a cool little local Venus hair place. Blue Tuba. It was another place, I forget what it was called. Torchy's Tacos. I think everyone has a Torchy's Tacos. And Jenny's Ice Cream. So yeah, so lots of cool local spots. If you live in the suburbs where you have a chain of restaurants like the Chili's or Outback Steakhouse, we have now family-owned businesses here. Hop Dottie's is really good. It's a burger bar. You have the UPS store to the left, which is great for all those Amazon packages, all those Amazon purchases that didn't work out too well. You can just return them. You have another vet place, Exceptional Pet Care, Sports Clips. So again, 19th Street stretches really, really long. See Tito right there. What's up, Tito? You always got to be careful with these streets. They're always doing something. They're always having some construction. And to the right is a pretty much brand new high-rise apartment. So if you're coming in and you're not looking to buy yet, if you want to rent, there you go. There's a Ride indoor cycling gym. Indoor cycling, I'm an outdoor cyclist, so it goes against my credo. Just kidding. Indoor cycling is great. Sweats. It's like a good sweat session. You have a pottery place. So now we're entering Shepherd. We're crossing Shepherd. There's an HEB about 4 or 5 blocks down. So you have a really nice HEB. Fairly new, probably 4 or 5 years old. And so when you're in this area, you're gonna tell that there's the sidewalks, there are sidewalks, but the walkability decreases. And so it definitely feels a little bit, the streets are more narrow on this side. So now we're hitting the west side of the neighborhood or the area. And if HOA predictability makes you comfortable, so if you like, you know, HOAs are great. You know, having no HOAs is also great. So here in the Heights, there are no HOAs. However, there are the historic districts. So basically they control, they tell you, okay, they want to keep the character or the flow of the look of the homes in the neighborhoods. That's mainly it. And of course, you know, keep your yard trimmed up pretty well. You may be able to go a little bit long before cutting your yard, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to be that neighbor. So yeah, there's no HOAs here in the Heights area. You're not going to see that. However, you gotta, if you're in historic guidelines and you want to build something out, or say you're about to buy something and then you want to change the whole look of the front of the home, ask your agent, or if you're working with me, I'll provide you with the historic guidelines of what you can and cannot do, and that are big gray areas. And there's a lot of good architecture or remodeling companies that's what they specialize. So it's good to hire those people that know what they're doing, that's done it before. And because one mistake can set you back 3 months, at least 3 months, because you gotta stop the work, you gotta resubmit everything, and who knows when they're gonna be back in session. It's not like, you know, next week or 2 weeks. No, it's at least a month. So just to know that. So now we're creeping over, we're still on 19th Street. And as you can see, that couple right there is walking. And I believe the guy should be on the left side of that lady, protecting her from the road, which is a little pet peeve of mine. The man should be closer to the road and the woman should be away from the traffic, should be on the outside. Okay, whatever. We're gonna move on. Send that guy a note. But yeah, so now we're entering like more of a warehousey. See some warehouses on the right side. There's Big Star Bar, more of the adult hangout. I know the neighbors here like to bring their kids. There's a lot of outdoor patio here, which is fine. Yeah, Wicklow Heights to the straight ahead to the right. Looks like a big old bungalow looking home. Cedar Creek is on the very right side. We'll make a right here. I mean, yeah, kids can bring their kids out here. And the parking I was telling you about, this is what I was talking about. It's very tight. You gotta be careful where you park. You gotta read the signs where you can and cannot park, because these tow truck, they don't play around towing. We're gonna be patient. And being in Houston, driving in Houston, you're gonna learn patience, because road rage is not fun. No one has time for road rage. Okay, so the right is Boulevard, which is a newish 2-story bar restaurant. I think they serve bar food. You have Drift right there. So basically we're on 20th Street, all lined up with bars, restaurants, cafes, eateries. You have the Boot. It's more outdoor, indoor, you know, place. You have Moonshine Deck to the left. So, you know, notice the sidewalks. There are barely any sidewalk. And if there's a sidewalk, it's like a shoulder where it's cracked, you know. Let's see here. We're gonna make a right on Bevis. So this is the other part of the Heights called, we'll just say Northeast Heights. Gotta watch because there's a bunch of potholes. Now we're heading into a territory where we have one sidewalk on the right side, one on the left, but it's very, very narrow. And a lot of these homes look like townhomes, but they're actually single family because there is space between the homes. Let's see here. You have a nice restaurant called Crisp to the right. And now the character of this area, as you can see here, is a tall 2 to 3 story, skinny looking homes. You know, sell. A lot of people, they don't want to walk up and down stairs for another 2 to 3 years. Usually they'll buy either for temporary, for a little while, and then they'll want to sell. And unfortunately, I'm not saying it's a bad investment, but there's a lot of these homes out here. I mean, look to the left and right. I mean, they're all kind of the same, but a different style, color, a little bit of a design. This one has like a wraparound porch, but they kind of all look the same. They're tall, skinny, 2 to 3 stories. Yeah, so, we just left the Woodland Heights. Now we're in an area where, where the Woodland Heights and Norhill Heights, it was a bunch of craftsman bungalows and Queen Anne Victorians, to now the tall, skinny looking homes of what we have here. And you have some of the warehouse getting scenery with the bars and the clubs and all that. The more of like the day, like if you want to go watch, college football, NFL, Super Bowl's coming up, that's the place to go. And also White Oak. If you want to notice like the driveways of these homes that are off on the kind of closer off the street, they're very long, which also gives it value, right? So you don't have to park on the street. That's the whole deal, right? So you don't have to worry about your car getting sideswiped, because unfortunately, since if you live by bars and clubs, that kind of stuff happens, if you know what I mean, without me actually saying it all out. So a lot about, 3 reasons why you shouldn't, move here. The HOAs, if you want a strong HOA and all that, this is not the neighborhood for you. If you don't want off-street parking and these narrow type streets, this is definitely not for you. And the new construction type homes where it's darn near perfect, this isn't the area for you. But if it's the opposite, if you don't mind all that stuff, definitely this would be a good spot for you to check out. Also, resale liquidity. I mean, the Heights, every year they are, you just saw a bunch of homes being renovated. People are coming in through by the droves. Everyone is now understanding the value they do get when buying inside the Heights area. They get a good return on their investment. And if you notice, a lot of the homes are unique, usually unique. We just left the neighborhood where it's not as unique. They all kind of look like row houses. I call them Lego homes, but they all look like same types. But then the craftsman bungalow, the double gallery, French Quarter style, Queen Anne Victorian. Now that's unique. You don't really see those homes either still standing as often, especially in a big city where we're at, or renovated. We're gonna go back to 14th Street. I want to go to White Oak. We never actually went on the drag of White Oak, so we're gonna go there. Probably the last thing, why you want to live inside the Loop, especially the Heights, is the culture energy. The energy that this neighborhood gives off is really good. It's positive. Everyone here is mostly friendly. When we had our flood, I wouldn't say it didn't really flood in this area. It flooded lower parts of the city by the bios. Not so much, more so the lower part of the Heights, but the electricity was out, right? We were off the grid. We had our ice storm that shut down the power grid for a week and a half, 2 weeks. But all the neighbors came together to link up, whether it was a long extension cord for power, whether it was water, food, any type of medical help, or maybe some neighbor was a doctor that needed, to look at a neighbor or something. Everyone here is friendly. That's why I love, this area is everyone here are friends. So just the cultural energy, everyone here is nice and kind to each other for the most part. You have some political divisions, I'm not gonna lie. But when it really comes down to it, and when people really need help, they understand each other. They get each other. So then they will most likely or usually reach out and give out a hand. So and I think that's what gives the property values, you know, also keeps it pretty high. Now we're in Yale Street, excuse me. We're on Yale Street. We are on Yale Street. Forgive me guys, I like to wear sunglasses because it's very bright. So I know people don't wear their glasses because they're like, oh, I don't trust this person if I can't see their eyes, I guess, you know. So sorry. It's good for me to have my shades on. So maybe in the next segment I will not have my shades. Maybe not. But anyways, Yale. So we are parallel to Heights Boulevard. So this street is a lot faster going. Not that we're speeding or anything, but I feel like I can get through the Heights a lot faster. So usually there's the Heights on that side to the left. They're going like 30 miles an hour, and I believe this is 35, maybe 40. So it's more commercial businesses up and down. You have 8th Row Flint to the straight ahead of us. To the right, there was a cleaner spot. Man, it was called Dapper Dan's. Dapper Dan's? Man, it closed down. I was there forever. On the left side, you have Dish Society. You have a dance spot. You have a dental spot. Oh, Ike's sandwiches is freaking amazing. So Tiff Treats and I think a jewelry store. So we're gonna be wrapping up this neighborhood and we're gonna get to the next area after this one. Yeah, so when you come to Houston, you probably wanna hit me up because I got a good referral to a good tire guy, because you're gonna need more than one tire. It's probably the first 3 to 6 months because you're gonna catch a nail. And you're gonna need a good alignment person because the streets are not good. Oh yeah, we're also, this little section here is also a good shopping spot. It connects to the Heights trails. You have Postino's, you have Dish Society. Not Dish Society. I forget that restaurant. It's kind of like a healthy restaurant. All right, so we're gonna go on 6th Street. All right, so now we're going east, crossing Heights Boulevard, which we were on earlier. Cooking Girl, that spot is really good. That's a good Vietnamese. So usually during the summer you have White Linen Night, which they used to close this street down. They used to, but I think it either got too rowdy or it wasn't busy enough. But they did close the street down. You could walk up and down the street. They would have bands. Oh, that's a cool coffee shop. Nice little coffee shop over there. And you know, everyone's out, ready to go. They're, you know, in their running outfits and enjoying the day. You have Easy's right here to the left, which is a nice liquor lounge. They're always playing the games. Car wash, a local car wash business. Black Swan Yoga to the left. The Heights Trails that crosses, so you can go into the city. So, and then the pet bar is amazing. They will wash your dog for you, or you can wash your dog in their tubs. Onion Creek, another good staple. They're part of the Cedar Creek family, Dry Creek and all that. And they usually always have bands out in the patio. Permission Whiskey, you got Tacos A Go-Go, another great taco spot. So again, I wouldn't say this is like 20th Street. This is more like the hangouts places. Still a lot of good restaurants. You can still bring your kids out here. And Bobcat Teddy's is a staple. I forget what it was. I think it was called something Ice House. BB's is really good. It's like a Tex Orleans style. I actually know the owner is a really good guy. It's all, you know, New Orleans style, Cajun style, and all that. So, and we're back where we were at by the White Oak Park. So, Tito says hi or bye. Thanks again for coming with me in the Heights. And we'll see you next time. And this is where we're going to end our tour. Tito says, thanks for coming out. And we are going to start on the next neighborhood. See you then.